On March 12th, the cryptocurrency market saw the most volume in the history of all time, with the market capitulating and selling off with the highest volume ever, even more volume than we saw during the very top of the bubble of Bitcoin when it reached $20,000. The very next day, March 13th, it was bought up with the most volume in the history of all time. Hey, what's going on, everybody? This is the Blockchain Backer bringing you the latest cryptocurrency news and analysis. And once again, we have another big green day on the board. And I've been looking at these charts for the last few hours and kind of diving into different indicators and things that we could see out here to see if there's anything positive for the people who are holding right now. Now, I know there's a lot of people who are actually playing both sides of this, more than we typically see going on with the XRP community or with the just the cryptocurrency community in regards to a lot of people have sold expecting for prices to go even lower. There are a lot of people who are still holding, but we could see there's a huge mixed sentiment bag going on right now for people who are wanting lower prices to get their bags back at the prices that they sold them at. And then of course there's a ton of people who are just like, please, price just go up. So we're going to take a look at some stuff and I'm going to show you what do I think. Well, the most obvious thing that stands out here on this Bitcoin price chart over on Coinbase is the volume that we have. And I want you to look right here at these bars. I want you to see how big this volume is, and we're going to zoom out on it and compare it to the past. There has never been volume at these high of levels. When we look at the top of the Bitcoin bubble, when Bitcoin went to 20,000, you could see that this is how high the volume got right here. And when we had the sell volume that came in on this day right here, March 12th, it exceeded the most volume we've ever seen in Bitcoin in one day, a massive amount of sell volume. And then the next day, we set a new record with even more volume, and it was buy volume. So we had a record-setting volume day, and it was of people buying the dip. At this point in time, nearly the entire capitulation move has been taken back. So anybody who has sold down here in this level is feeling incredibly nervous right now as the price has exceeded almost all of the capitulation. It has taken back almost the whole move. I want to show you a little bit about reversal so you can see when big volume comes in like that, followed by opposite volume. So in this circumstance, we had huge sell volume followed by huge buy volume. We look over here, we're going to look at this top right here, this one that occurred over at the end of June 26th, and we look right down here. You could see that we had an incredible amount of buy volume, a monstrous amount of buy volume come in at the very top. This is when people decided, hey, wait, the price is going up. I'm going to buy now. An incredible amount of people bought, and then it was sold into with incredible amounts of volume as well. And that marked our reversal point. And we look over here and we see the same thing, but even more. An incredible amount of sell volume in which an incredible amount of people said, hey, this is a great opportunity to sell because I am going to buy even lower, but the market did the opposite. It came in with insane amounts of buy volume and the price has now risen. So while this market sits in extreme fear right now on the fear and greed index, way down here in extreme fear, we've got extreme fear on both sides. We've got extreme fear for people who are holding, and we have extreme fear for people who have sold. I've been looking on Twitter and looking at different posts, and I've seen posts that say, hey, is anybody else pretty bummed that the price is actually going up? And it had hundreds of likes on that post, and I said, whoa, this is crazy, because I look at the comments on my videos, and I've got so many comments from people who are saying, no, the price is going to 5 cents. No, the price is going to 8 cents. And then Kevin Cage posted a poll yesterday to get a sentiment check, or maybe that was 2 days ago, to get a sentiment check of the community, just of the XRP community. What's going to happen with the price next? Is it going to 20 cents or is it going to 8 to 12 cents? And 2/3 of the respondents said that the price is going to go to 8 to 12 cents. We have a tremendous amount of people who are in the belief that the price is going down. We have a tremendous amount of people who are bummed to see the price going up. What does that say? And what that says is it says that the longtime holders and the longtime believers and the people who would never be shaken off their rock, unfortunately, a lot of people got shooken out in that capitulation. For people who are holding, that's a very positive sign when you see a lot of people who come to agreement together. Large amounts and large percentages of a market's participants agreeing that a price has to do one thing is a very positive sign for you if you're on the opposite side of that. And right now we have a huge amount of people who believe that the price is going to go down, and it always feels uncomfortable to be on the opposite side of the group, of the big mass of people, but it's always smart to be on the opposite side. So I'm in full belief that being on the long position of this is the right thing. And I think they know that as well. Anybody who sold at 11, 12, 13, 14, or 15 cents right now is feeling very nervous because XRP is now pushing up against 17 cents. All of this capitulation, all of this area right here, anybody who sold in here hoping for down here is now looking at the price higher than where they sold it, and that's very uncomfortable. At some point, this price is going to go to a higher level to where they can't stomach it any longer and will have to buy back in. And we can see that there's a large segment of people sitting on the sidelines with cash watching this. So we'll spend the next few days trying to figure out at what point are these people going to have to buy back in. As we've been talking about in the last few videos, yesterday marked the 805th day of the XRP bear market, and when we compared it to the past, this was where we saw a pop up off the lows, which we have started to see. So this is quite an interesting time that we actually did pop off of it right when we did. Let's see if it can keep on going. So once again today, we do have a lot of green on the board. Cryptocurrency is positive, the stock market is positive, and we do see that there was an incredible amount of buy volume that came in after that capitulative move that really shook a lot of people out. And there are a lot of people sitting on the sidelines who are waiting for an opportunity to get back in. We'll see if they're ever actually given that opportunity or if they're forced back in at higher prices. Anyone who is long-term holding and just held through all of that, it's a very positive sign to see that there are people on the sidelines with cash, holding onto that cash, wanting to get rid of it, but they're in a position in their trades right now where they're uncertain of what they should be doing. So let's take a quick look at the other markets. As for the US stock market, this is called the volatility index, or the VIX, and you can see that the VIX, or the volatility, reached up to near all-time highs from the 2008 financial crisis, and it has gotten what appears to be rejected at this level. So whether or not it's going to break out or come all the way back down to the lows and mark the bottom, time will tell, but we could see that there was a strong pushback right there, and two huge wicks right up here near these all-time highs from the financial crisis. The stock market is actually having a green day over here on the Dow Jones Industrial Average. As for the US dollar, the dollar did come up and touch right here near the highs, but it has some type of resistance going on here, and it is getting a push back. We'll see how that plays out. Will people continue to flock to cash in fear? We could see lots of flocking to cash, and that's proven just even in the XRP community with how many people want lower prices because they have sold into USD Tether or into the US dollar or whatever sitting on the sidelines. There's been a flock to cash with fear. But this will just be temporary. And I think all of you know that. If you can explain to me how long term the dollar can continue rising when we are printing money, doing bailouts like crazy, if you can explain to me how the dollar will rise on that, I'm open ears to listen to your idea. Since we're all about to be under, what is it, shelter in place or lockdown, or pretty much you're not allowed to leave your house, time for everybody here coming up very soon. I do know that California had theirs initiated yesterday, that only essential workers are allowed to leave their house. Everybody in the entire state of California is on lockdown or shelter in place. Well, there's something you could watch right here that I think was awesome because I was laying in bed late last night and I put on To the Lifeboats, which is by Green Eggs and Ham, or at Ham, Eggs, and Sam. He has a YouTube channel called To the Lifeboats. I'm pretty sure every single one of you are aware of it, but you might not be aware that his video is up and running. He had posted it a few days ago, and it had restrictions on it, and YouTube wasn't letting it be played. But last night I did click on it again and realize that, hey, it is live and you can watch it. And he does an awesome job putting these two comparisons on the movie The Big Short, if you've ever watched The Big Short, and how the financial media is trying to explain it in a different way, and had The Big Short explains it in a different way. And he really just puts together this incredible thing. And I watched nearly all of it, but I actually fell asleep while watching it because it was like midnight when I was watching. But it's not because it was bad. I did not fall asleep because it was bad. It's actually very, very good. And he put so much work into that, and that's awesome. So you should go check it out. You can see right here, he's got it on his Twitter page at Ham, Eggs, and Sam. And you can also go to his YouTube channel, To the Lifeboats. It's about an hour and 20 minutes. That is one of the best watches that I've seen on YouTube in a long time. And on that note, if you haven't seen The Big Short, the movie, you have to watch it. It is not just oh yeah, that's a good movie. No, no, no. You have to watch that movie, The Big Short. So, all right, guys, that's going to wrap it up for this one. In summary, we have an incredible amount of buy volume coming in at the bottom of this market with an incredible amount of long-time holders and believers who are sitting in cash on the sidelines, uncertain on what to do and uncomfortable with what the price is doing right now. So they're going to have to make a decision at some point, either remain patient and wait and hope that their trade does come to fruition and that the price does go down to 8 to 12 cents, or if the price keeps rising like it is and it gets to a point where they can't take it anymore, they're going to have to buy back in at a higher price. So we'll see how that all plays out. But man, when you see that type of buy volume and that type of shaking out of long-term believers, and then so many people being on one side of a trade hoping for that the price goes in one direction, it makes perfect sense that the price goes in the opposite direction, which for people who are holding and people who are long, that's great. So thank you guys so much for watching. Please like this video and give it a thumbs up. It means the absolute world to me. I check it. Man, it means a lot. I know I say that, but it really does. I'd love to see everybody likes some positiveness in this time, right? Thumbs up are always welcome. So thank you. If you're not subscribed to my channel, please subscribe to my channel, and that way you can be notified of when I create new content and when I go live. As always, this is not investment advice and I am not a financial advisor, but if you ever need a pick me up or a little bit of reassurance, just remember that the blockchain backers got your back. Have a good one.